Let's do it.
Episode 2.
Episode 2.
All right, so just going to go straight in. No mucking around. Earth the body. All right. We say it's a vehicle for bringing our 3 passions in under the one roof: training, environmental sustainability, and plant-based nutrition. But fair to say that training is the hero, and wanted to use this opportunity to break down the training for the listeners, go a bit deeper into why we do the way we do and the outcomes it produces. And I think it's fair to start with, I guess, picking apart and breaking down what influences your style of programming, what you believe in, what your training philosophies are. And I think we'll start with, I guess, strength, compound lifts, moving weight, and why strength is part of the program as a bit of a foundation.
It's such a huge question to unpack because there's like 15 years worth of a lot of reps, a lot of, my own workouts, a lot of influence from so many different people that I've followed and follow. But ultimately what it comes down to is performance. It's a strength and performance program. And I think there's a lot of strength and conditioning programs out there, but performance unlocks a lot of doors and gives us opportunity when you're programming and I guess, considering your workouts with that at the front of mind. So, recently we were at Turf Games and we were able to, go and do well against mostly CrossFit gyms. We could mix it with them on the barbell complexes. We beat most gyms on the, the conditioning component. One of our crews got a nice little world record there. And we're able to, express well with the skills as well, the toes to bar, the dumbbell works, the carry variations, the ergs. So I think that's really cool. Like if you're bringing performance and keeping that front of mind when you're programming, it just means that we're able to go out there into the real world and use it. And that's where it counts because that's where the memories are made. Like, yeah, we're having an awesome experience at the gym, but being able to perform in the real world is really cool. And, HYROX comes along and gives us that opportunity as well. And in not so much a skills perspective, but more from a fitness perspective. It's a running race. So, we're running every day on our program. So, ultimately it comes down to performance. That's what's front of mind for me. And being able to perform too is not just from a strength, from a fitness point of view, it's also skills. Strength in itself is a skill, but there's also a bunch of different skills that we train, dubs on the skipping ropes, some body weight work, toes to bar, lots of kettlebell variations, hand-to-hand work, snatching, cleaning. And if we know that strength is a skill, well, it takes a long time for you to master some of these movement patterns and then challenge it with a heavier weight and go again, challenge it with a heavier weight. And, being able to, use a lot of these skills now for a number of years, it's fucking dope being able to see a lot of our members express their strength with those skills. And yeah, skills, strength, fitness, performance. Yeah, it all speaks to each other.
When you were talking through, I guess, a lot of that, just then you're reeling off a lot of the different things we do. Kettlebells stood out for me because I think it's a common thing that people with a decent training base come to us with a bit of a knowledge deficit in. I think it's fair to say. We a lot of clients who come to us at Earth the Body usually have, more often than not, some sort of training background, whether it's from a different group training model or some PT or like your local council gym or something like that. They've not necessarily their first time in the gym, but first time into our space. And you ask them, have you trained with kettlebells before? And how we train with kettlebells and how other people train with kettlebells, I think there's quite a difference. So do you want to break that down a bit and how did kettlebell training come into our programming?
Kettlebells if I had one piece of training equipment to train with, like just one, if I could pick one, I think I would pick a kettlebell, or a set of kettlebells. But yes, we train with them in a very unique way in that people would understand kettlebells from maybe 2, maybe 3 movements. And, you know, you have conversations with people before they start at our gym. Have you trained with kettlebells before? Oh yeah. Yeah. What have you done? Swings and squats. Cool. Maybe some press variations. But yeah, we do use them in a very unique way. We do different kettlebell complexes, a lot of hand-to-hand work, changing the kettlebell from one hand to the other during cleans, during snatches. And yeah, I guess my kettlebell knowledge was unlocked through the ONNIT Academy. I connected with, I remember seeing a dude named Primal Swolger, Eric Leah, doing kettlebell flows years ago.
Saw him in person.
I didn't see Eric in person. I saw his brother Juan in person. So yeah, fast forward a little bit. I fly over to Texas and and hit up that gym and did a certification there with them, their foundation cert, which was basically fundamental movement patterns, and then use the unconventional tools through those movement patterns. And yeah, it actually unlocked quite a lot for me. It gave me an understanding on programming, you know, writing a balanced workout, writing a balanced program, and yeah, using these unconventional tools, you know, inside a workout.
You talk about writing a balanced program. Our program, I think, is unique in terms of group training models, in terms of that we test, and that there's phases that we go through towards that test. And so do you want to tell us about like why that's included in the program from a strength perspective and why that opportunity is there?
I think it tests your progress, and it keeps training exciting and engaging. I think it's cool to hit a 1 rep max. And I mean, for context too, not everybody has, I guess, earned the right to lift a 1 rep max. And we have people come onto our program that, you know, might be doing their reps and sets at, you know, 8s and 10s and stuff like that. And when they're ready, they'll jump into the rep maxes that seasoned, you know, athletes on our program are training. But I think if it came down to like one thing, like why it's there, it's engagement. It's locking in on a number and having something to show up to every day and every week and every program cycle to chase down. And like strength training in that way is you get to have wins within your training, like weekly or, you know, or every test, like, but you know, we cycle it. It's not just about a 1 rep max. We have 5 rep max for 3, 3 rep max for 3, 2 rep max for 3. We have a deload week and a test week. And so on the compounds, you're working a 5 rep max for 3 weeks. So if we hit X amount of weight on week 1 and next week, it's a little bit heavier or the range is a little bit further, like that's a win. Like I fucking love that. And when we're dialed into our strength training as a bias, like we get to have those wins every week and we get to have those wins, you know, on a 1 rep max every 11 weeks. So yeah, that's why it's there. If you compare it to, you know, I've done, you know, quite long race preps, you know, let's say it's 4 or 5 months where you're dialed in on this race and strength is still there, but your bias switches from 70% strength, 30% conditioning to 70% conditioning, 30% strength. Then, you know, the celebration you get to have on a race or a level of conditioning is on race day, which is like once every 4 or 5 months. I love strength training because we can celebrate those wins weekly. Yeah.
100%. And I think not only do we get to celebrate those wins weekly, like you said, I think what's really cool is seeing clients progress just through one cycle of programming through like from the start of our program when you talk about 5 rep max as the strength test in those early weeks to the last week of our program cycle being a test week. You see newer clients like progress in that time and see how the program can unfold and unlock opportunity. But then you also can look at our clients that are 5 years into our program now. So a lot of our OGs and how they've gone through heaps, I guess arguably hundreds of cycles on our program, and those numbers and the celebrations and the progress there just keep skyrocketing. And it's so cool to see, especially in a group fitness model, I think. And also just cool to see what's possible over that sort of period of time, 5 years. Like I'm talking, you know, people potentially never squatting more than 20 kilos on their back to now 110, 120 kilos. It's unreal.
These are girls too.
I am absolutely talking about girls here too. Yeah, 100%. So, and a test week, you know, that rolls around for us every 12 weeks. Test week's a vibe. Like, not only is it a celebration of strength, it's an opportunity for the community to, like you say, it keeps the training exciting, but it offers opportunity to connect and that camaraderie and
get around each other.
The energy in the gym in test week, like the energy in the gym every day is already electric, but like bring on test week and it's damn exciting and people froth it. The coaches love it. The clients love it. I just think it's a really cool part of what we do.
And you said during that people's strength over the year has skyrocketed, right? I think like you get newbie gains where it actually does skyrocket and you get progress pretty quick. But then it gets to a point where, you know, that it's slow. It's a slow chip away. And that actually excites me more than you know you're going to get the newbie gains. And so you know you're going to see those people that are locked in and, you know, over 3-6 months, you know, even the first 12 months, they get a lot of progress. But then after that, it's slow. But the people now, like you say, like 5 years in, that are really hitting some impressive numbers. You know, one guy comes to mind who we nickname Benchmark. And I'll write like benchmark weights in some, you know, components of our workout, like might be a kettlebell complex into a row, 5 rounds for time. Benchmark weight is 24 for the boys, 16s for the girls, something like that. And he'll refuse to grab anything lighter than benchmark, hence, you know, adopting the name Benchmark Brownie. But, you know, I know what it's like to chase down goals like he does. And recently he squatted 160 kilos. And that's such a great squat for someone in a group model like ours that, you know, that strength was built within the program. And that's what excites me. That fucking gets me going. I love that shit. And his wins as well. You know, he comes to mind when we went to turf games and there was a barbell complex we were chasing and he actually hit it. I think it was 2 weeks. I definitely know he hit it the week before.
He did.
You know, I know he hit it the week before. And the celebration, like watching him fucking get that lift, like that's what it's about. That is what this is about. If you sum up this whole thing, like that moment, you talk about performance, you talk about strength, you talk about skills, like nailing that complex is fucking what this is about.
Hundy. He got the hundy.
Yeah, it was 100 kilos. Yeah, it was 100 kilos over his head. 1 clean, 2 squats, 1 shoulder to overhead press. Yeah, 100 kilos. Yeah.
While we're on the subject of Brownie too, respect. I think he's a special, I guess, example of what's possible in our program, especially because like he hustles. So, and what I mean by that is like he runs his own business, which is, you know, huge. He is a new dad, recent, and so therefore his life it's full. It is busy, it is hectic, and he's got to grind to make it all fit in. And he doesn't have time to train anything else or do any additional training outside his Monday to Friday 5 a.m. workouts at Earth the Body. So I guess where I'm going with that is it's very cool to see a clean example of what's possible of someone who just trains on the Earth the Body program alone. No additional potential, you know, extra running or extra weights training or anything like that on the side, swimming, whatever you want to do in your extracurriculars. You know, whereas some people might do that. Some people might do some additional training for different goals, different events and things like that in the mix. But he's a cool example of what's possible with years of consistency simply on one training modality.
He's the walking billboard. Good rig too.
One of many walking billboards, I think fair to say now.
Can I also include someone that comes to mind who is, you know, Brownie comes to it with a training background,
Yeah, 100%.
then 5 years on the program, someone who has come to us with no background in training. In fact, it was a little bit of running, but she started with us when she was 16, and there's a pretty cool reel and a little bit of content that we recently shot around this person who has just completed 1,000 sessions with us, and is going to be coming on board as a coach and is going to be an epic leader for our community. I know she is. She's just epic. But she's an example of someone that comes and attacks the program, more than 5 times a week. And wow, like she's one of our strongest girls. I remember having a conversation with her, maybe not that long ago, let's say 18 months ago, 12 to 18 months ago. And she's always run as part of her routine. She gets up very early in the morning and she's out there and ticking the Ks along. And I remember her upset at the, kilometer splits that people were getting on Strava and that she was, not able to get. And now it's, it's fucking right up there. She's fit, she's strong and skillful. And, I get her to help me out with demos at the moment because I'm injured. And I jokingly said in front of a group, on Saturday, if you want to move like this, it's 1,000 sessions.
Yeah.
And there's someone that's there's your walking billboard for the program. And you know what? I don't want to, there's no ego here. I don't own this. It's her work.
Oh, 100%.
She applies herself.
Yeah.
And I write the program, but hey, how people come and attack it and approach it, that is a deal breaker in terms of your outcome and your progress. And she attacks it. She attacks it hard.
Every day.
And what a fucking weapon.
She's a unicorn. And that's not to say that, everyone has to attack the program in that way, but the opportunity's there. And the opportunity to lean in is there. And the opportunity to chase down benchmark weights are there. Or in her case, Sienna, often going beyond the benchmark weights.
And some.
Creating new benchmarks for everyone. But yeah, I think, she's another unique example of what's possible leading to program. And I guess a little bit different to the Brownie story. She's someone who trains 7 days a week on our program. That's how she got to 1,000 sessions in only a 3-year period, as opposed to Maxine, our OG, who got to our first member to get to 1,000 sessions, who has been with us the whole 5 years. But that's not to say Maxine has not been consistent, because she has. She's been incredibly consistent.
So excited for our next 1,000 as well.
True, just around the corner, literally weeks away. Maybe not even weeks, maybe less than 2 weeks away. Depends on how she's feeling.
Shout out Bernie.
Shout out Bernie.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah.
What a queen, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bernie's someone who not only has she progressed in strength and fitness, but her physique, I think is something that stands out. It's changed. She looks fit and strong. And, for someone more mature in our community, she's an absolute inspiration, and she's proof that you can change your body and get strong and build fitness in your later in life, into your 50s, pushing into your 60s. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to, it's not just for young people. Our gym is not full of young people. The really cool thing about our community is that diversity. We've got people from as young as late teens, mid-teens, that sort of 16-year-old age bracket, all the way into the 50s and 60s, and potentially starting, this style of training in those later age brackets, and being able to still participate, because yes, there's opportunity to lean in and go full ham on our program, right? And you speak about Brownie and Sienna, I guess, as some great examples of that. But at the same time, the program can cater to wherever you're at in your fitness journey, whether you are coming in as a new gym is new to you or brand new to your lifestyle, or if you're coming in with more experience and you're, more athletic, which I guess then speaks to the fact that how the hell have we not used this word yet? Our programming, the best way to describe it is it's limitless.
It's one way to describe it.
It's one way to describe it.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of like how far can it be taken? Yeah, you often get people coming to us like, I'm bored with my current place of training, or I'm bored with my current programming, or I've plateaued. It's a common thing we hear. I've plateaued and I just want to take things to the next level. Well, I think something that's fair to say, like uncapped potential currently.
I think it does, in a way, it does have to be capped. For example, we are training within a 60-minute window.
Sure.
So
yeah, okay.
in terms of a fitness standpoint, like I felt that last week. I probably had no right to have a crack at what I wanted to have a crack at. We hosted a Halfcut half marathon, and I guess going a little bit off topic, great event.
We've gone
anyway, let's go to the training aspect of it. So the reason I wanted to bring that up is because I was able to hold with a stronger runner than me for an hour, no probs, moving at a fast pace. At an hour in, the wheels fell off for me, and that's because I am naturally conditioned to go hard for an hour. Like, if I've been dialing in on HYROX for a couple of years, if our training program, the workouts go for an hour, like you're conditioned to go for an hour. I mean, so from a conditioning stimulus, let's just keep it to that in terms of the limitless aspect of what we're talking about. From a conditioning stimulus, anybody from our gym with reps on it can come out and do a 10K run. I think that's pretty cool. Like, you're going to be seasoned and conditioned to be able to go hard for an hour. So so from a conditioning standpoint, like there's your cap there, like an hour, how hard and what you can do in an hour. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of boundaries that we can push there and keep pushing. And we're still pushing, the windows of training that we've got or the time on a component we've got on the barbell, it is time capped, but 5 years in, there's dudes still making progress. There's girls still making progress. So, within all those components, like, there's boundaries and we keep pushing and we keep pushing. And, it's a great word, and does speak to a lot of what we do. Barbell training, kettlebells. We've got 6 kilo kettlebells right up to 48 kilo kettlebells, and we keep chasing them. The compound lifts, we keep chasing it.
Keep having to buy more goddamn bumper plates.
The fitness, we keep chasing it. So, it's a cool word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess you're talking about the concept of time being, I guess, potentially one limit here. But I guess where I was sort of going with it is like, I don't think we can't be accessed by some pretty high-end athletic people, and we are. Like, there's people coming into the program with a pretty serious training background who can still be challenged and, like you say, still be pushed, and whether it's different components. I just think that's a really cool thing. But I'm going to circle back to, we were talking about, how what's possible, how people can come into this program, different age brackets, different backgrounds of training. But a common thing that pops up for us when some people are inquiring, I guess, or, wanting to learn more about Earth the Body and the training program is there's this misconception that they need to be fit before they walk inside our doors. Like they're like, I want to start training with you, but I just need to go get fit first. And we're like, whoa, dude. So do you want to maybe unpack that a little bit and like explain why that is complete, utter BS?
Totally. Well, let's go a step forward into that person who says, I need to be fit to start here. Eventually they find their way into the program. And if you go into that conversation a couple of months down the track, what they say is, I fucking wish I started sooner. I can't believe I didn't start sooner.
True.
So I think that kind of frames it and packages up. Like, do I need, it is the place that you get fit, and people understand that. And it will meet you where you're at. It doesn't matter where you are. Attitude will dictate your outcome. And proof is in people that come to it with the right attitude. Someone that comes to mind, I won't mention her name, but she fucking blows my mind. And she came to it, you know, fair to say, like not in great condition. She's been in good condition before. But during components, I'll go up to this lady and be like, hey, how about this option instead? And she refuses and refused, still refuses any time. And I don't do it anymore. I know, like you're attacking the workout how it's meant to be attacked, and let's go. And that attitude dictates her outcome, and she is crushing it. And I love her journey. And yeah, I can't wait to see where it unfolds for her. But it's proof in that you don't have to be fit here. What actually dictates your outcome is your attitude.
So true. And I guess that circles back. So there's the attitude of the athlete. Let's maybe touch on the attitude of like the culture inside the gym, inside the training space, the culture that we try to create from the coaching perspective as well. Like how we're different, like we're quite different. Like there's no mirrors. There's an immersion factor. There's a lot of involvement from our coaches. Like they're high level. Their engagement is high level. Their participation in the program is there. Let's speak about how that's different, and how the culture inside the gym walls, I think, also helps dictate the outcomes for the clients.
I think the culture stems from the intensity of the program. So we all feel the same. So we don't coach by any metric. Guys, we need you to be running at 20 kilometers an hour. We need you all to be lifting X weight. No, but we ask you to feel a certain way. So this push should feel challenging but doable, for example. This, you know, for a 2-minute interval, whatever it is, we all feel the same. So, and at the end of the workout, we all feel pretty rinsed, but we all feel accomplished, and we all get around each other. I think it's interesting and very unique culture because of the immersion. You speak about immersion before. You know, it's a nightclub vibe. It's quite loud. There are components within the workout that are dialed back, and we, you know, when we're doing some heavy lifting, for example, it's chill music, and we can engage in conversation, and we can be a little bit more technical with our coaching. But for most of the workout, it's, you know, it's loud. It's like a nightclub. So that creates immersion for people to get lost in the workout. And the coaching is different. It's more energy, and yeah, there's eyes on you for technique, and you go in and you swoop and you give your cues and, you know, or challenges for people. But I think the balance of technical coaching and immersion creates a very unique culture and experience.
100%. And like you say, like when you speak about people all feeling the same, like because we're all trying our best effort on a specific component, I think that creates more connection between the athletes in the room as well, because like I said, there's no mirrors in there. So they're not looking at themselves. They're not really focused on themselves. They might be actually darting their eyes at the rower screen next to them.
Totally.
Or celebrating the win that they've just seen in front of them. The cool thing, like, you know, our rowers and our skill mills, they face inward into the room. That's on purpose. Like whether it's a distraction that while you're running and you're trying to get through a goddamn long run effort that has been programmed, and you might be able to be distracted by getting to watch a celebration on the barbell happening in the rig, or whether it's like all sending it for a short effort on the rowers together and getting to celebrate at the end. Like it's like that connection and immersion and that feeling. I think it's quite unique and different, and it's more enjoyable for the client and the coaches.
I'm so glad you said that. Because a lot of other models with, you know, a erg and a run component, they do face into a wall. And
yeah, or a mirror.
Well, yeah, into a wall looking at a mirror. And that has its own experience.
100%.
And I don't agree or disagree with that. But I will say, facing them the other way and looking into the room, yeah, it's fucking dope. It gives you that opportunity to, you know, cheer someone on.
Absolutely.
You know, and see what's going on in the room. Or you can look at the wall. I remember talking to one about, because
I know who you're going to say. I know who it is. She's counting the bricks.
Counting the bricks.
You know who you are.
If she wasn't counting the bricks, she was on an erg counting the fucking pigeonholes for storage. Like, you distract yourself, and there's all sorts of mind games going on, isn't there?
Yeah, 100%. I guess, like, I just want to build on that, what we're talking about here in terms of like everyone feeling the same, everyone feeling that immersion, getting around each other, getting distracted, feeling that connection inside the room. I think one really cool thing about our coaching team is the fact that they train on the program alongside the clients when they're not in the coaching seat. And I think that speaks to a lot of that mutual respect from the community and the coaches for each other, because they know that the coaches are going through the pain cave with them, all leading the way in how they attack the workouts. What do you have to add on that?
Well, I think they set a standard. I think, you know, to be able to coach it, you need to be able to have felt it, but you need to have been there before. So, you know, if you are teaching someone, you know, how to progress on that barbell or how to progress on that skill, like you need to have failed it yourself. How many times I copped whips on the skipping rope in a lockdown, like that was my goal. I'm gonna do dubs. I'm gonna unlock my dubs, and I know that you have to embrace the suck to you know, get to the other side of it. If I, you know, and you see people that are so close. So even though they might be copping a whip, it's like, no, you're nearly there. I feel like it's so important that you've done the reps yourself before going in and coaching it. And, you know, on a micro level, like have done the workout yourself too. Like, you know, I don't write a workout that I don't, you know, believe in enough for me to, you know, get my own stimulus from. So yeah, I think leading by example and setting the standard is part of it.
I guess also what we often see, especially when our coaches do the workouts themselves and feel it out potentially before coaching it or even coaching it the following week, it unlocks their ability to set their own little benchmarks or explain the feeling of what the clients are going to experience on the other end with even more detail, which I think just brings so much more value to the client experience. And I see that every week, especially like, sure, when we bring out a new program, I think everyone's feeling it out for the first time. We're seeing what's possible from the members. The coaches are feeling out what's possible. And then come week 2, or if there's leaderboard opportunities, come week 2, it's like right dialed in. And it's not just here's the workout, it's here's the workout plus this or plus this. And can you do this? Because we did this and they did that. The 5 a.m. did that. And like it creates a little bit of healthy competition in there too. And
so we're running a lean team at the moment. We've got some really exciting coaches coming on board soon. In the meantime, Chrissy does some coaching.
Chrissy does
some coaching.
It's just a guest appearance here and there.
What, have you enjoyed it? Do you enjoy coaching?
I love it. Yeah, I do, because it's my opportunity to connect with so many people in the space of an hour. You know, I'm the people connection person in the community, I feel, and, you know, it's a bit of my skill, and I get to, you know, I've been on the other side for a long time, observing, feeling out the workout. When I say the other side, I mean like I'm training in all the damn sessions and I love it, and I still train in all the sessions, but being on the other side, and I've got like so many reps now in the bank with our program and our movements that like I think I can offer, you know, just a little bit of a Chrissy twist on things and bring my personality to the room and just a fresh voice. And, you know, it's something a bit like not every day, like, you know, out of the norm, like Chrissy appearance. So, you know, I've got my own flair. I lean into a certain style of music that I might play on repeat in my classes. But yeah, it's been really fun. But, you know, long term, those guys are the heroes and I'm cool with them taking the stage. It's just, yeah.
You know, like what I observe is you've always stood by the standard you choose to walk past as the standard you choose to accept.
Oh yeah, that's been with me since the nursing days.
And like you'll give me feedback on like what you see, and like you don't miss. I don't know if I've ever told you this, but like you don't miss a beat. As in like my eyes, like, and you might give me some shit sometimes because you're like, fuck, why is your face like this in the class? Like, what? Like, it's like my eyes are darting. Like I'm always watching and like looking for opportunity, making sure everything's sweet, making sure people are moving well, whatever. But on the flip to you, like you're noticing me and you're noticing them, and you don't miss a beat. And so and you'll be giving me feedback. Hey, did you see this person? Hey, did you see this person? And like, you really like actually embody that mantra. Like you don't, there is a standard, and if I give you an answer that's been like, no, it's cool, let them be or whatever, you're like, no, don't, go over, give them the help or whatever. And hey, that's not to say that I'm not accepting a
lazy
standard.
coach.
No, I'll have my reasons.
No, that's right.
Yeah, but I feel like, watching you coach when you've like had to step in lately, like that's a really like high standard, like that mantra to hold yourself to. I think it's cool to be embodying that and having an opportunity in our model to express it.
No, I love that because, like I said earlier, it's something when I was managing in the nursing world, I used to say it to the nurses, the junior nurses coming on, or, whoever I was potentially mentoring or leading at the time. Yeah, the standard you choose to walk past is the standard you choose to accept. Are you willing to walk past someone moving poorly or potentially unsafely and be okay with that? I'm fucking not. And so therefore, I might look like a little bit of a crazy person, and I'm busy. I am parched, bro. Like I'm dry. Not right now. I'm dry when I'm thank you. No, I'm good. I'm
staff.
Yeah.
Hey, hang on, wait.
Cocoa Coast. We need a sponsor.
Please.
But I'm busy when I'm coaching, and I don't apologize for that.
Yep.
I also believe every single person can be coached and can be helped. Even the best movers in the room, like they should never be ignored or skimmed across because goddamn, some people move well and they move brilliantly, and maybe they don't need a tweak on in a lot of their movements, but it doesn't mean they can't be maybe challenged or pushed or maybe try something different. And you know what I mean? Like I know that they froth it. Mm-hmm. The OGs, the people that move well, maybe the stronger or more fitter people in the room. I do believe everyone can be coached, and I will try and challenge myself often to be like, all right, how can I change their workout today? So hopefully that rounds it off with I do
hardcore, man.
I do enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you notice my standards. Well, now I have to uphold that. Like there's now a freaking benchmark public for everyone.
High standard, high support.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, there's some other heroes in the room that it's their show. Mm-hmm. Time for them to shine. Mm-hmm. I think before we wrap it up, I want to quickly just talk about we've got some signature workouts on the program, and they actually have resulted in being quite a few people's favorite. Mm-hmm. So I thought we could just briefly touch on Horsepower and Wolfpack.
Okay.
1, how they adopted the names, and 2, why they're signature and why people love it.
Okay. Horsepower has always been on a Monday, and it's evolved into a 4-component workout, and it's built around interval weight training principles. And interval weight training is basically pairing up a weighted effort with a cardio interval. And in its pure form, there's a heavy weighted effort with a 2 to 4 minute conditioning piece, 3 to 4 rounds, and an explosive interval, 3 to 4 rounds into a 2 to 4 minute interval piece. In its pure form, it's been around a long time, but we've played with that over 5 years and in our programs and our designs, and it's such a great expression of fitness. We get to do it on a Monday, so people get to blow off whatever's happened on the weekend. It starts our week strong. But yeah, the main events are your two interval weight training components. We'll do a kettlebell piece into a row, or a kettlebell piece into a run, or a barbell piece into a run, and a barbell piece into a row. And there's so many different ways we plug and play our movements into that. But there's rounds for time. Can you do these intervals 4 rounds for time? There might be some high rep barbell complexes, 5 rounds for time. We have 10-minute time caps in that workout. So basically your main events are the interval weight training with a power and skills circuit on the floor. People love it. It's fucked up. It's a great challenge, and it starts our week strong. So that is horsepower.
Before we move on to Wolfpack though, I just want to unpack horsepower just a little bit more. You speak about like as many rounds as possible. So AMRAPs, pairing up weighted movements with conditioning pieces. I think it's fair to say horsepower is a workout that heroes capacity to, and the capacity aspect of the Earth the Body program in its entirety. So can you just speak to it, like why that's a point of difference, like in how we incorporate capacity as a goal?
Well, I feel like you kind of answered the question. Yeah.
All right, what is capacity? Let's change it. What is capacity?
How much can we do in the given workout window?
Cool.
You've got a window of trainability. Like, what can we get in there? How much can we do? And I guess like if you go outside of just the workout components, like, there's opportunity to get mobility into our warm-ups too before we start. There's opportunity to calm our central nervous system, do some breathing, do a cool down, decompress. So capacity is at the forefront of definitely horsepower, trying to get in as much work as we can in that given time window. Not every single workout speaks to that in terms of program design, but yes, horsepower definitely. If you look at the last program we had, one of the barbell complexes, a famous CrossFit complex actually called DT. And if we were taking off every 2 minutes on the minute, which was what we might recommend in a 10-minute time cap, if you want to get it done, 5 rounds in 10 minutes, it's over 130 reps. There's over 130 reps. And when you're meeting that at benchmark weight, that's a lot of volume in one 10-minute component. Then we go on to the interval weight training. Then we go on to the barbells and a run and the kettlebells and a row, rounds for time. So pairing all that with a floor component where there's some power work, we're generally working a max height box jump, and focusing on quality reps there, with some additional skills, some dubs. Yeah, there's a lot of work that gets done in that workout in terms of capacity.
I'm just going to delay the Wolfpack subject again for a second because you said something there that caught my attention, a CrossFit complex.
Yes.
And it's another thing that comes up quite often, like people who might be watching us on social media or meet us in person and want to know more about Earth the Body, and they say, like, is it CrossFit?
Mm-hmm.
How do you answer that?
Well, the answer is no, it's not CrossFit. I would say the main point of difference between us and CrossFit, capacity is something that comes to mind. Within a workout, you would be getting more done in our workout than what you would on a CrossFit program. Strength is our bias and more geared towards compound lifts, deadlift, squat, and press. We do Olympic lifting, but we don't do snatching. So I guess, a typical Olympic lift is a clean and jerk and a snatch. So we'll do the cleans and the jerk. So all the different types of clean variations and clean cycles and all the overhead press variations, but we just don't snatch a barbell. And the reason we don't snatch a barbell is not because I don't like the movement. Like, I have nothing bad to say about any training modality, including CrossFit. But in terms of how I want to write workouts, I want to be able to meet anyone where they're at, and I can't meet anyone on a snatch. I can train the same stimulus as a snatch with a kettlebell, and I can meet you where you're at there. The heaviest kettlebell that I've got in the gym, we can't snatch it yet. So we can keep progressing. But I can't meet, and I can meet anyone there. I can meet little Betty on a 6 kilo kettlebell snatching, and I can meet Big Dean on a 40 kilo snatching. So So in terms of the training modality, that kind of packages that up, but CrossFit probably doesn't offer the same immersion. It doesn't offer the club vibe, and an opportunity for, a fully immersive component. Just get lost in it, listen to the music. Generally they're, lit up boxes, warehouses, factories, stuff like that. Whereas, yes, we've flipped a warehouse, or a box gym, and it could have suited a CrossFit model, but it's fully blacked out, neons, quite dim in the lighting. So the actual workout experience itself is, very different to CrossFit. Yep.
Cool. Permission to now move on to Wolfpack. It's just, I brought up Horsepower and Wolfpack, A, because of their unique names, but B, also because they're crowd favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. Wolfpacks. I reckon Wolfpack now is popping. In fact, proof is in our bookings. That
it slaps.
It's let's get this out. It slaps. Sure. It's a crowd favorite. And it still speaks to, so when we started 5 years ago, it was an opportunity to put our week's work to the test.
Yep. And that has not changed.
I still think it stands. Like it's almost like taking weight off your shoulders and like just coming in with your team. And, there's minimal technical coaching in that session. If it needs to be there, it's there. But otherwise it's like, we've put in the work this week and it's time to send it. And something popped up just then as well, like something in that workout we don't do, and any other something that we do in that workout we don't do in any other workout is a block run. And Deb, one of our coaches, said to me, like, it actually got her into running. How crazy is that? Like, she's like, I used to fucking hate that block run, and then like you make us do it every Saturday, like not negotiable. And hey, there are people that opt out of it. I'll always check in with that person and ask why, make sure they're okay. But yeah, how cool is that? Like just bringing in a block run and being consistent with that every Saturday morning, we go and hit it, and it opening the door for someone into, hey, I can actually run 500 meters nonstop. Maybe I can do 800. Hey, maybe I'm a runner, and I'm 100%. Getting out there, and I think that's pretty cool.
And that in itself, that block run is a challenge within itself, because like there's some people that might not even be able to, in their early days, complete a whole block run unbroken. It might have to be a bit of a run walk kind of approach. And I've seen celebrations when people have nailed their first block run. That's cool. And it's like the workout hasn't even started yet and you've had a freaking win. It's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The last 3 minutes of some of those components where, we're given that it's a team workout, we're sharing equipment. But if the last 3 minutes of those components sometimes are just fucking off like next level.
They're just
like,
unmatched,
Yeah, it's
and
next level.
There's something I think pretty special about team workouts that, like, Wolfpack is always a team workout, whether it's partners, whether it's teams of 3, teams of 4, sometimes even teams of 5. It's some sort of shared effort, which of course naturally fosters camaraderie, community, meeting new people, supporting each other, cheering each other on. And yeah, that just elevates the energy on a Saturday to another level. And then it's great English, being able to then hang out with your team or others in the room afterwards. Like Saturday's always got that community, vibe to it. We're lucky enough to have our plant-based cafe on site where so many members hang around in and connect and hang out on a Saturday. It's like the day where people have a bit more time, and can hang back for a smoothie or a coffee and things like that. And it's just it just enhances the experience, I think, just outside just the training session. It's just a special day.
Before we do wrap this up, we segued this episode in talking about the training, and you said it was one of the 3 of our main pillars. I think what's interesting is that your brand or your training philosophies and your style is what someone else says it is, right? So I would like to help, for anyone still listening this far in, thank you. But I'd like to help you unpack what that is, because a lot of the time I do get feedback like, this friend asked me like, what's Earth the Body? And, this person would say, oh, it's kind of like an F45 and BFT or something like that. And you're like, in my opinion, that's not what it is. So I'd like to help people like unpack what it is. Before I do that, in your perspective, what is Earth the Body?
Me.
You?
Me? You're asking me.
Yeah, no, I am asking you. Or are you saying you are Earth the Body? Mic
No,
drop.
I'm not saying I'm Earth the Body. What is Earth the Body? Well, here's the thing. Okay, before I answer that.
Maybe in a training point of view, like if you had to explain to someone like, what's Earth the Body? What is it? Tell me.
It's hardcore training. It's savage. Well, here's the thing. Like until recently, we've always had trouble bloody explaining this, right? Like because Earth to Body is so many things packaged into one. But I guess if I had to try and compact it, it's a hardcore training stimulus, strength and fitness, unlocking the opportunity to perform. And the fact that the program offers GPP, general physical preparedness, I see on the daily people having the ability to transfer the skills, the fitness and the strength that they build inside our gym walls into the outside world, whether it be for an event or whether it simply be for everyday life and improving and helping others in their everyday life. That's the shit. Yeah, it transfers. It's transferable. It's for people to perform.
Did you say unlocking real world performance? Did you say that?
I don't know. Maybe you were just thinking it and hoped that I said that.
I thought you said that. Cool. Did you want me to butt off that at all? Or?
All right. What is Earth the Body to you?
Well.
Back at ya.
Cool. It's strength and performance, which I think is like an elevated way of saying strength and conditioning. Because if it was pure conditioning, we would be on the rowers doing like 30-30 or 500 meter repeats. And there's a time for that and we do that. But there's also in today's workout, there's, within an 8-minute time cap, we do waterfalls in a pair. And, that's a 250 meter row shared into a snatch, 250 meter row, snatch, press, 250 meter row, snatch, press, squat. Once you finish your squats, row 350 meters, max body weight squats till the end of the 8-minute time cap. Now, if it was pure conditioning, you could probably sit on the rower for 8 minutes and get the same heart rate elevation. And that is conditioning and it's pure, in a form. But to give an 8-minute performance window within that, that's where it elevates. And I would say we are strength and performance. There's opportunity in the program to perform on, on a macro level at events and on a micro level within a component. So there's opportunities for performance. On the strength days, we do isolate it and we do, like I said before, the 500s, the 30-30s, top speed sprints, compound lifting. So strength and conditioning. Hello. The strength work that we do on those days carries over to our performance days and allows you to show us what you got on the performance days. And they allow you to show us what you've got in the real world at Spartan, HYROX, turf games.
Something else came to mind. Sorry. 2 things came to mind. One, I was like, did you just say the answer that you hoped I said?
Oh, no.
Strength and performance.
No, not at all. I think like it's, like I said, like your brand is what someone perceives it to be. I can say whatever it is. And that's why I wanted to hopefully help people unpack what it is. It's strength and performance. And maybe people can elevate off the performance. But at the end of the day, like your experience and your perspective on it is yours.
Well, I wanted to just circle back to something you were saying, like you were giving the examples of a intra-workout performance opportunity versus like a real-world performance opportunity. Something that kind of meets in the middle that we haven't spoke about, and let's, I guess, wrap it up on this, is we have been able to host a particular event that kind of brings those two sort of examples together. offering our community the opportunity to perform in a competition atmosphere inside our walls. We've hosted now 3 Earth to Body Games events over our 5-year journey so far, and the most recent one was off its chops. But the really cool thing about that is like it is that kind of meet in the middle. It's like it's an opportunity to perform and compete in a unofficial event kind of atmosphere in the space of the 4 walls that you're comfortable in, but without actually necessarily going out into, you know, real competition spaces against like the public, and not necessarily paying the same ticket price and things like that. But like it just offers that opportunity of that meet in the middle competition experience, the hype, the energy, the opportunity to test yourself. And I think like that's within all that, that's just another opportunity to perform inside our model, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. And having, if you talk about Wolfpack, well, that's like, you know, Wolfpack stacked. It's pretty much a Wolfpack workout on another level. Like,
it is.
Yeah. So much fun. I mean, you get to compete, but with all of your mates. Like, you know, if we go out into the real world, you're competing against your mates and, you know, the rest of the world. So yeah, no, they're heaps of fun.
Yeah.
Definitely do more of them and work them into the schedule for sure.
100%.
Do we segue this and talk about HYROX, or do we leave HYROX for another day? Because I think HYROX comes along and basically changes the whole industry. It definitely influences it. And whether it changes the way other, you know, brands and models program and whatnot. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting conversation. But yeah, whether we want to go there now, whether we want to hold HYROX.
I think you just set a topic for episode number 3.
All right.
I think it's a zone base, that one.
Yeah, I reckon too.
Yeah.
I reckon too. Yeah, for sure. And I'm excited for that one. We've got a crew in Perth as we speak.
Yeah, we do.
And we'll have a fucking enormous crew in Melbourne representing. And I am actually genuinely excited to program for the next about 15 weeks into Melbourne. It's going to be lit.
They're going to munch it.
Yeah. Cool. Episode 3, HYROX and whatever else.
Done.
All right. Thanks, everyone.